Fiber friends, it's Anisha from the 5 Years to 40 podcast. This is the channel that is dedicated to millennials who are talking and thinking and taking tremendous steps towards creating a fascinating future. So, if you're just joining for the first time, I'm so happy that you're here. And if you're a regular, hey best friend, I'm glad that you guys are back. I want you all to do me a huge favor right now. Just pause this video and like the video and subscribe and share, whether you're listening on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or on the Digital Go Loud app, whichever platform you're on. I would totally appreciate if you can support the channel by liking and subscribing. All right, guys. So, we like to keep our conversations around four pillar topics. We talk about our health, we talk about our relationships, we talk about our finances, and we talk about our careers. Today, we're going to be talking about our careers, and we're going to be looking at ways that our career might be stressing us out. All right, let's get into today's episode. Right. So let's start the conversation. So we're looking at workplace stress, and so we're gonna work with the definition that I got from the ILO. They define workplace stress as the harmful physical and emotional response caused by an imbalance between the perceived demand and the perceived resources and abilities of individuals to cope with those demands. We're gonna just be going through is some of the things that can cause us to feel or experience workplace stress. And of course, I'm sure some ways that we can help ourselves to be less stressed at work. So, workplace stress can actually be separated into two categories. There are challenge stressors and there are hindrance stressors. Your challenge stressors are the things that can actually be positive. So these are the things that respond to having pressure to help you to deliver on a certain amount of time, or challenges that help you to become more efficient, to become more effective, to become more resilient. These things help you to grow as an individual. If we all need a certain amount of pressure per se to push ourselves beyond our limits. And these are the things that when you overcome them, you're like, this is easy. When you encounter other stress in life, you're like, listen, for what I have been through, I know how to manage my work well. I know about time management. I know how to be efficient. I know how to cut down these resources and make the right moves so that I'm able to get my project done on time with excess resources left back, because I know how to streamline things and become creative in scenarios. And hindrance stressors, on the other hand, are things that just slow down your ability to get to your goals. So we're talking about things like office politics and things like red tape and bureaucracy and things like just messy situations, messy people that can delay your ability to achieve your goals. And hindrance stressors are what we will really be focusing on today. 5 of them. The first hindrance stressor at work is a lack of communication. So your lack of communication can often lead to people just not knowing what is going on, and that shows up when there tends to be a lack of clarity in information or inconsistent amount of information going out, or just a tendency of people to withhold things that will impact the bigger picture. Another huge hindrance stressor at work and in workplaces, and I swear, like, the more you talk to other people, the more you realize it's like all over the place, is antisocial behavior. Like, there is a prevalence of people getting to work and having to deal with a lot of interpersonal conflict, like where you have people or groups of people who are deeply polarized. So they click in It's high school all over again in some workplaces, eh, guys? So you have a clique of people who operate in a certain way, and they polarize other people. They gossipy and they spread rumors, and they make it difficult for a person to thrive, treat the person in really antisocial, rude ways. And that can cause people to be less productive. Because if you're going into an environment where you want to give your very best, and what you meet is hostile people or gossipy people or people who come and say snarky remarks or say things to make you feel devalued, it decreases your productivity. Like, nobody should be having to go through that, and those things can really hinder the level of productivity an organization have, and of course can increase your stress. Another hindrance stressor is poor leadership. You may have heard about the saying that says people don't leave workplaces, people leave bosses. And while I wouldn't say people leave a boss, people can leave the boss's leadership skills. Like, if you're somebody who does not care about other people, if you're not empathetic, if you are not considerate of how or the people that you are responsible for feel, if you don't engage them, if you don't understand what it is that truly motivates people, and that there are different ways that people are motivated, those things are stressors, and it can literally make you feel less productive or less willing to be productive at work, cause you to be really stressed out, and of course kill the vibe you have for your career, the things that you want to achieve in your career. The other hindrance stress is just a lack of motivation. I believe that coming out of COVID, we really have been under a cloud, and if there's ever been a time for charismatic leaders and charismatic people and people who believe in transformation to show up and stand up, it would be now. People who believe in elevated future, people who can come with hopes and dreams and the ability to execute on those, are the people who will really survive and thrive in organizations. And you could be demotivated for a number of reasons. You could be demotivated because right now you're overworked and you're overwhelmed and you're underappreciated. A lot of people would have vacated the workplace post-COVID, and so you might find yourself with just an overwhelm of work that you have to do that you were not previously responsible for, and you just feel like, oh, I can't. It's really stressing you out. Another thing you could be stressed out about is being underworked, meaning you have voluminous amount of work, but it's like really meaningless. It doesn't apply to the things that you are qualified to do. It doesn't apply to the things that you know that you're capable of. And so the underwhelm of having to do things that just does not relate or it's not a matter of humility, because you can do any work that you get or you have to do, but doing monotonous work that doesn't challenge you, especially for somebody who is growth oriented, and I know we got a lot of growth oriented people on this channel, y'all, that's one of the things we could point out as a hindrance stressor. The fifth hindrance stressor is closely related to the one I just spoke before, and that is the tendency to not be able to see any personal growth. As individuals, we all have a need to grow and to thrive. And if you are in an environment where the career field that you're in or the workplace that you're in doesn't offer opportunities for growth or for training or for personal development, there doesn't seem to be any indication that, okay, well, yes, you're in the job right now, but I can provide ways to help you to enrich your job, is not necessarily about raising your pay, it's not necessarily about giving you a promotion, but it's to help you to feel enriched in what you're doing. So I'm giving you new opportunities, I'm giving you challenges that I see can help you to push forward and to grow. Without those things, we can feel suffocated and stagnated, and that can really stress you out, like, so big time. If none of these hindrance stresses rang a bell, then so happy for you. And please be sure to leave a comment that says, girl, I'm good, so we know that you are working in a place that is definitely thriving. And feel free to leave us comments on things that are being done within your environment so that we can perhaps adopt it. I believe that we are the change that the world needs. So if there's something that is affecting you, it's probably affecting other people, and you can stay in your own corner of the world and adjust and make the changes that are needed, even in baby steps. Speaking of which, let's talk about 4 ways you can help yourself if you feel like yes, you are in an environment where you've noticed some hindrance stressors. The first thing is to be an example. So if you're in a place where you notice that communication is messed up, it's not clear, it's not consistent, then you start by being clear in your communication and being consistent, or seeking clarity when something doesn't feel right, or you're unclear about it, right? So that could be a way you lead by example, and you'll be surprised to see how other people would adjust and adapt, and that can make the change that is missing. Instead of pointing fingers and saying this person doing this and this person not doing this, you fill in the gap, like show up in the areas that you feel are missing. The second thing you could do if you are noticing hindrance stresses is to say something. Speak about the things that matter. You more than likely are not the only one facing it. As you start asking questions, you might be able to start, shifting things around and helping other people to clarify the things that they need for themselves. The third thing you could do is to be prepared. While we are role modeling the desired behavior, you would recognize that you might start getting opportunities or start getting experiences. When those things come to you, you have a decision to make. I love Mia Motley, and she often talks about the baton, which is in relays, the baton get passed to you and you continue running, and then you pass it on to somebody else and they continue running, and the race gets finished. And the truth is, in life, we're all running this relay. So whatever point you're in right now is for you to run your best leg of it. And so when that baton gets passed to you, you have to decide if you're going to run hard and pass it on to somebody else, meaning pass the information that you have, pass the access that you have, pass the influence that you have to other people, so that that other person could run even faster than you. Or you could decide, I'm going to take this baton and fling it in the field, and I'm going to just be considerate about myself. I'm going to do a jazz walk, make sure everybody see me, and I'm nice and I'm wonderful, and everybody sees my flair, and not care about the person behind you and the person ahead of you waiting on you to be the change and to help them to activate things and move forward in life. Like, that's your responsibility when that baton gets in your hand, if you're gonna fling it or if you're gonna run fast and pass the information and the influence that you have to other people. And finally, when it comes to dealing with hindrance stressors, you have to be open. You have to be open to feedback. More people deciding, well, I don't like your style, or I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to tell you the feedback. And that might, if you're not able to receive feedback regardless of if it's good or bad, you will keep yourself stunted. So when feedback comes to you, accept it with grace and accept it with poise, and thank people for whatever feedback they give. And for the people who are giving you good feedback, see if you can even ask for more, because we do not know everything. Nobody knows everything. And so if you're really interested in being growth oriented and living this fascinating life in your career or in any other area of your life, and showing up in a way that's fascinating, then you are going to be open to feedback. You're also going to want to deal with feedback when it's not so good. You need to be able to deal with that as well, and know ways to reassure yourself, and to take the pieces that you can work on, and then sometimes to just throw away the rest, because sometimes some people give you some trash feedback about yourself that you don't need. So you need to know what you need to throw away and what you need to keep and to keep working on. And also be open to an exit plan. If you are in an organization that clearly is filled with hindrance stressors, and you're going to continue showing up, you're going to continue giving the best that you can, you're going to continue role modeling the desired behavior, but at some point you must recognize also if it's something that you can change, or if the corporate culture is so deeply steeped in its own self that there's some battles that you ain't going to win. You have to be able to be discerning enough to know when it's time to look at an exit plan. And I can tell you, this is not just for your career, this is for your relationships, this is for your finances. There's some things you're invested in where you just have to say, gee, I gave this my best shot, and I'm going to hang off my gloves and I'm done. I'm done. I'm all out. So, guys, I hope this really served you. And if it did, I'd be so happy if you would like and share and comment to let me know if it served you in any way. And whatever other thing that you need me to talk more about, if this is a topic that you want me to get deeper in, workplace stress, then I'll be happy to go into that as well. I'll see you in the next episode, best friend. Take care.